I did an education policy task force, and through that actually I met a mentor of mine who was doing a startup in Manhattan that was helping athletes as well as minorities with their career preparation. I kind of wrote my senior thesis on this topic, and I kind of stayed connected with him through my senior year, and he offered me a full-time job at his startup company in Manhattan. I was very lucky to have this opportunity. I learned a ton, and I worked at this company for a year, and I realized that I really loved building something. There was 2 of us in a room, there was so much work to do, everything. And I realized that, maybe it wasn't this career preparation startup that was for me, but it was really startups and building something and owning something and having so much pressure on you and so much responsibility and challenges and learning all the time. That was my passion. And so I sort of joined the startup community in Manhattan and became involved, and then that's sort of how I ended up starting this company with 2 other people 3.5 years ago, and here we are at Quirky now with 70 of us. So the path really was completely turned around, but I'm so fortunate for the relationships that I gained through being in the Woodrow Wilson School and having difficult research projects and a lot of reading and a lot of, when you were in Woody Woo and we had to sort of do these task forces and present in front of your peers, I think that experience was so valuable to me because you had to get up in a room and own your thinking. And if you did the reading, you had to present. And if you didn't do the reading, you had to present and convince people that you did. And I think that being able to speak in front of a crowd and research and write and do a lot in one night is super important, and it carries throughout the startup world and other jobs should you choose to do those. The one thing I've sort of been telling people and sort of I think is helping me now is never be afraid to fail. I think that I failed. We all have to fail. I expect to fail, continuing so, and I think it's important to have those failures and learn from them. Put yourself in a position, challenge yourself, try your best, and if it doesn't go right, learn from it and try something new the next time. This company, Quirky, it's doing well right now. I don't know what's going to be in 6 months or a year, but all I can do is try my best. And at the beginning of it, there was mistakes we made, right? We had to learn from those. And I think that it's so important to not get caught up on maybe a bad grade or a bad midterm score or things that frustrate you and get us down day to day here at Princeton. Just realize that in the grand scheme of things, if you're trying the very best you can every single day, and when you put your head on your pillow and you did that, then that's the best you can do. And I think that that's the best piece of advice I can give to students. I love coming back to campus, and I would hope that the Career Service Office can contact me and students can contact me at any point. I'm willing to come all the time. I just live close in Manhattan. So I think that, being at Princeton is a very special place, and anyone who's here is fortunate to be here, and I sure was fortunate to be here. I came specifically an hour and a half, before this event started, just so I could kind of walk around and just kind of feel it, because it's a really special environment. There's a lot of resources, a lot of really brilliant people here to learn from that you might come in contact with later in life. From my perspective now, I think that I always like to hire Princeton grads at my company, both because I think that you all are brilliant, and both because obviously I like the environment here, and I think that you're taught a lot of different things, soft skills and hard skills. Not only are you guys all great at math and sort of the hard number crunching stuff, but there's a lot of things, like I said, when you go to a meeting and you can present in front of a crowd and do research in one night that some people might take longer to do. Those are all things that we all learned here because of the pressures of the environment and the social pressures and sort of the way in which we have to do it all here. I think that those are all great things. And I was a swimmer here, like I mentioned before, and I think athletes, I do think, have another skill that just being on that team, you learned a lot of different pressures as well. I hope that students do use you guys, or I hope that alumni can come in for training sessions, or I hope that I can come back and help people with their interview preparation or their resume preparation. As a hiring manager and someone at a startup company, I think that there's little tolerance that I have for a poorly formatted resume, or you know, a non-personalized cover letter, or little mistakes like, you know, dear hiring manager, when specifically in the ad I list my name. There's little detail that might seem simple to speak about now, but whether or not that's attention to detail from the candidate's perspective or attention to detail that Career Services can teach the student, I think that there's a large amount of simple resources and help that could go into sort of prepping these candidates for jobs.